The Paradox of Surrender, The Science of Letting Go and Receiving. Written by Colin Davies, published by Minds More Audiobooks. Introduction. Have you ever felt like you're wrestling with life, locked in a perpetual tug-of-war with the universe? Like you're gripping the steering wheel of your existence so tightly that your knuckles are white, yet the car keeps veering off course? If so, you're not alone. We live in a world that champions striving, pushing, and forcing our way to success. A world that equates surrender with weakness and letting go with failure. But what if I told you that surrender is not the opposite of strength, but the gateway to it? What if letting go is not about giving up, but about opening up to a deeper wisdom, a more profound power that resides within you? This book is an invitation to embark on a transformative journey, a journey into the heart of surrender. It's a journey that will challenge your assumptions, unravel your resistance, and guide you towards a life of greater peace, joy, and fulfillment. Imagine a life where you no longer feel the need to control every outcome, where you can navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, where you can embrace the unknown with an open heart and a sense of adventure. This is the promise of surrender, a promise that awaits you within these pages. In this book, we'll explore the science of surrender, delving into the fascinating ways in which letting go can rewire your brain, reduce stress, and enhance your well-being. We'll uncover the roots of resistance, exploring the fears, limiting beliefs, and ego-driven patterns that keep us stuck in cycles of struggle and suffering. And most importantly, we'll discover practical tools and techniques for cultivating surrender in our daily lives. We'll learn how to embrace the present moment with mindfulness, to cultivate acceptance, to trust in the unfolding of our journey, and to align with our authentic selves. Are you ready to let go of the struggle and embrace the freedom of surrender? The journey begins now. We appreciate your support in helping us produce more content for you. So please, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Lesson 1. Your brain on stress, the science of the fight or flight response. Picture yourself strolling down a bustling city street, the symphony of urban life swirling around you. Car horns blaring, conversations overlapping, music spilling from open doorways. Suddenly, a screech of brakes pierces the air. Your head snaps towards the sound. Your pulse quickens. A jolt of alarm courses through you. This instinctive reaction, this surge of alertness, is your body's ancient alarm system springing to life. The fight-or-flight response. This primal response, a legacy from our ancestors who faced dangers far more tangible than a near-miss traffic accident, is a masterpiece of evolutionary design. It's an intricate dance of biology and neurochemistry, a rapid-fire sequence of events orchestrated by your brain and body to prepare you for action when danger looms. Let's dive into the fascinating science behind this automatic reaction. The moment your senses register a potential threat, that screeching car, a looming work deadline, a harsh word from a loved one, a signal is sent to a small but mighty structure deep within your brain, the amygdala. This almond-shaped cluster of neurons is the emotional hub of your brain, particularly when it comes to fear and anxiety. Think of it as your internal security guard, constantly scanning the environment for signs of trouble. When the amygdala perceives a threat, it acts like a fire alarm, sending out an urgent distress signal. This signal activates the hypothalamus, a tiny but powerful control center in your brain that regulates a wide range of bodily functions, from temperature to hunger. The hypothalamus, in turn, dispatches a message at lightning speed down your spinal cord to your adrenal glands, perched atop your kidneys like two vigilant sentinels. These adrenal glands are essentially hormone factories, and upon receiving the alert, they kick into overdrive, pumping out a surge of adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline, often called the emergency hormone, is like a shot of turbo boost for your body. It increases your heart rate, elevates your blood pressure, and redirects blood flow to your muscles, priming you for action. Cortisol, the stress hormone, acts like a performance enhancer, providing your body with a sudden burst of energy. It elevates your blood sugar levels, sharpens your focus, and temporarily suppresses non-essential functions like digestion and immune response, ensuring that all resources are dedicated to dealing with the immediate threat. This potent cocktail of hormones transforms your body into a finely tuned survival machine. Your pupils dilate, allowing more light to enter your eyes and enhancing your vision. Your breathing becomes rapid and shallow, delivering oxygen to your muscles. Your senses sharpen, making you hyper-aware of your surroundings. You are, in essence, ready to either confront the danger head-on or make a swift escape. While this response is undeniably crucial for survival in truly dangerous situations, the challenge lies in the fact that our modern world is rife with false alarms. That overflowing inbox, that upcoming presentation, that critical comment on social media, these may be stressful, but they are rarely life-threatening. Yet our brain, with its ancient wiring, often reacts as if they are, triggering the same fight-or-flight response. The consequence? We end up living in a chronic state of physiological arousal, our bodies perpetually flooded with stress hormones. Imagine driving your car with your foot constantly hovering over the brake pedal. You might still be able to get to your destination, but it's going to create unnecessary tension and wear and tear on the vehicle. Similarly, chronic stress takes a significant toll on our bodies and minds. Over time, this constant state of red alert can contribute to a wide range of health problems, from anxiety and depression to heart disease and autoimmune disorders. It can disrupt our sleep, impair our digestion, weaken our immune system, and even accelerate the aging process. Understanding the science behind the fight-or-flight response is the first step towards reclaiming our well-being. By recognizing how our brains and bodies react to stress, we can begin to develop strategies for managing our stress response and cultivating a state of inner peace. In the next chapter, we'll delve deeper into the dangers of chronic stress and how it impacts our health and well-being. We'll also begin to uncover the powerful antidote to this modern epidemic: the art of surrender. Lesson 2: When fight or flight becomes a habit, the dangers of chronic stress. Imagine a gazelle on the African savanna, constantly on high alert, muscles tensed, senses hypervigilant. A rustle in the grass, the shadow of a hawk overhead. Every perceived threat triggers a surge of adrenaline, a frantic dash for safety. This is the gazelle's life, a perpetual dance with danger. Now imagine this gazelle never gets a chance to truly relax. The predators are always lurking, the threats never cease. What happens? Exhaustion sets in. The gazelle's once powerful muscles begin to weaken, its immune system falters, its spirit dwindles. This is a picture of chronic stress. We humans, though far removed from the dangers of the savanna, often find ourselves in a similar predicament. Our modern world, with its relentless demands and constant pressures, keeps us in a perpetual state of fight or flight. Deadlines loom, emails pile up, social media feeds buzz with negativity. Our brains, wired for survival, interpret these stressors as threats, triggering a cascade of stress hormones that keep us on edge. But unlike the gazelle, whose stress response is designed for short bursts of intense activity, we humans often find ourselves simmering in a low-grade stress for days, weeks, even months on end. This chronic stress, like a slow-burning fire, erodes our health and well-being, leaving us vulnerable to a host of physical and mental ailments. Think of your body as a magnificent machine, intricately designed to function in harmony. When stress becomes chronic, it's like throwing sand into the gears of that machine. The delicate balance is disrupted, and systems begin to malfunction. One of the first casualties of chronic stress is our cardiovascular system. The constant flood of stress hormones puts a tremendous strain on our heart and blood vessels. Our heart rate increases, our blood pressure rises, and our arteries become less flexible, increasing the risk of heart disease, stroke, and even sudden cardiac arrest. Our immune system also takes a hit. Cortisol, the stress hormone, suppresses our immune response, making us more susceptible to infections and illnesses. Studies have shown that chronic stress can increase our risk of catching colds, developing autoimmune disorders, and even slowing down wound healing. Our digestive system isn't spared either. When we're stressed, our digestive process is disrupted. We may experience stomach aches, indigestion, constipation, or diarrhea. Chronic stress can even contribute to the development of irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and other digestive disorders. But the damage isn't limited to our physical health. Chronic stress wreaks havoc on our mental and emotional well-being as well. It can lead to anxiety, depression, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. It can impair our memory, disrupt our sleep, and drain our energy. Chronic stress can also affect our relationships. When we're constantly on edge, we're more likely to be irritable, impatient, and withdrawn. We may find it difficult to connect with others, leading to conflict, isolation, and loneliness. The insidious thing about chronic stress is that it often creeps up on us gradually. We may not even realize how deeply it's affecting us until we're already feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, and depleted. We may start to accept these symptoms as normal, not realizing that they're a sign that our bodies and minds are crying out for help. The good news is that we don't have to be victims of chronic stress. By understanding the dangers and recognizing the signs, we can take steps to break free from its grip. We can learn to manage our stress response, cultivate resilience, and create a life that supports our well-being. In the next chapter, we'll begin to explore the powerful antidote to chronic stress, the art of surrender. We'll discover how letting go of control, embracing the present moment, and cultivating inner peace can transform our lives from the inside out. Lesson 3. Beyond Fight or Flight, Introducing the Power of Surrender. EF. Imagine a mighty oak tree standing tall amidst a raging storm. Its branches sway and creak, leaves are ripped away, and the trunk groans under the onslaught of wind and rain. Yet, the tree remains rooted, bending with the force of the storm rather than resisting it. This, my friend, is a powerful metaphor for surrender. In our modern world, we're often conditioned to believe that strength lies in fighting, in pushing back against the challenges life throws our way. We grit our teeth, clench our fists, and strive to control every outcome. But what if true strength lies not in resistance, but in surrender? Surrender, in its essence, is the art of letting go. It's about releasing the tight grip of control, relinquishing the need to force things to be a certain way. It's about accepting the present moment as it is, with all its uncertainties and imperfections. Now, before you conjure images of waving a white flag or giving up on your dreams, let's be clear. Surrender is not weakness. It's not about passively accepting defeat or resigning yourself to a life of mediocrity. On the contrary, surrender is an act of profound courage, a willingness to step out of the driver's seat and trust in a greater wisdom. Think of it like a sailboat navigating a stormy sea. The captain can't control the wind or the waves, but they can adjust the sails, harnessing the power of the elements to navigate the storm. Surrender is about finding that inner alignment, that sweet spot, where we're no longer fighting against the current of life, but flowing with it. The benefits of surrender are profound and far-reaching. When we surrender, we release the tension and anxiety that come with constantly trying to control the uncontrollable. We step out of the exhausting cycle of fight or flight, allowing our nervous system to finally relax and recharge. Surrender opens the door to inner peace, a sense of calm that emanates from deep within. It allows us to connect with a deeper wisdom, an intuitive knowing that guides us towards our highest good. It frees us from the shackles of fear and worry, allowing us to embrace the present moment with open arms. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of surrender is its power to unlock our true potential. When we let go of our rigid expectations and preconceived notions, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. We become more receptive to inspiration, more attuned to our inner voice, more aligned with our authentic selves. Surrender is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice, a way of navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. It's about learning to trust the flow of life, even when we can't see where it's taking us. It's about finding the courage to let go of the familiar and embrace the unknown. So, how do we begin to cultivate this art of surrender? It starts with awareness, becoming mindful of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, noticing when we're clinging to control, resisting change, or fighting against the current. It's about learning to recognize the subtle cues of our bodies, the tension in our shoulders, the tightness in our chest, the racing thoughts that signal our resistance. It's about gently reminding ourselves to breathe, to soften, to let go. Surrender is not about giving up on our dreams or ambitions. It's about releasing our attachment to a specific outcome, trusting that the universe has a plan, even if it doesn't unfold exactly as we envision. It's about finding the courage to step into the unknown, knowing that we're supported, guided, and loved every step of the way. In the following chapters, we'll explore the roots of resistance, delve into the science of surrender, and discover practical tools and techniques for cultivating this transformative practice in our daily lives. Are you ready to embark on this journey of letting go and discovering the freedom that lies within? The path to surrender awaits. Lesson 4. The illusion of control, letting go to gain control. Have you ever gripped the steering wheel a little tighter during a rainstorm, as if your white knuckles could somehow prevent a skid? Or meticulously planned every detail of a vacation, only to have it derailed by a missed flight or unexpected illness? These experiences, though frustrating, offer a glimpse into a fundamental human tendency, our deep-seated desire for control. From the moment we're born, we're driven by a primal need to exert influence over our environment. As infants, we cry to signal our needs, learning that our actions can elicit a response from our caregivers. As toddlers, we explore our surroundings, delighting in our newfound ability to manipulate objects and assert our independence. This desire for control, while natural and often beneficial, can also become a source of immense suffering. We cling to the belief that we can orchestrate every aspect of our lives, that we can bend the world to our will. But the reality is, life is a wild, unpredictable ride, full of twists and turns we can never fully anticipate. The illusion of control is a seductive trap, luring us into believing that we have more power than we actually do. We meticulously plan our careers, our relationships, our finances, as if we can somehow predict the future and safeguard ourselves from disappointment. But life, like a mischievous imp, delights in throwing curveballs our way, reminding us that we are not the masters of our destiny. This illusion is often fueled by our deep-seated need for certainty. Our brains are wired to seek patterns and predictability, to create a sense of order in a chaotic world. When we feel in control, we feel safe, secure, and capable of navigating life's challenges. But when things don't go according to plan, our sense of security is shattered, leaving us feeling anxious, frustrated, and powerless. The truth is, control is often an illusion, a comforting story we tell ourselves to ward off the fear of the unknown. We cling to the belief that if we just plan enough, work hard enough, and worry enough, we can somehow prevent bad things from happening. But life, in its infinite wisdom, has a way of reminding us that we are not the authors of our story. This relentless pursuit of control can manifest in countless ways. We may micromanage our employees, trying to dictate every detail of their work. We may obsessively check our phones, seeking constant reassurance from our social media feeds. We may try to control our partners, manipulating them to meet our needs and expectations. The irony is, the more we try to control, the more elusive control becomes. Like sand slipping through our fingers, the tighter we grasp, the more we lose. Our efforts to control often backfire, creating resistance, conflict, and resentment. The key to breaking free from the illusion of control lies in recognizing its limitations. It's about acknowledging that we are not the puppet masters of our lives, that there are forces at play far greater than our individual will. It's about embracing the uncertainty of life, accepting that we cannot predict or prevent every outcome. This doesn't mean we should passively resign ourselves to fate or abandon our goals and aspirations. On the contrary, it's about finding a balance between striving and surrendering, between taking action and letting go. It's about learning to dance with life, to flow with its rhythms, to trust in the unfolding of our journey. Surrendering control is not about giving up, but about opening up. It's about creating space for new possibilities, for unexpected blessings, for serendipitous encounters. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan, even if it doesn't unfold exactly as we envisioned. In the next chapter, we'll delve deeper into the roots of resistance, exploring how our ego and our fears contribute to our struggle with control. We'll also begin to uncover the tools and techniques that can help us release our grip on the illusion of control and embrace the freedom of surrender. Lesson 5. The Ego's Grip. How our sense of self feels resistance. Imagine a tiny acorn, nestled in the fertile soil, dreaming of becoming a mighty oak. It clings tightly to its identity as an acorn, convinced that this is all it can ever be. But within that tiny seed lies the potential for something far grander, a majestic tree reaching for the sky. To fulfill its destiny, the acorn must surrender its current form, allowing itself to be transformed into something new. This, in essence, is the struggle we face as humans. We cling to our sense of self, our ego, like a security blanket, convinced that this is who we are, this is all we can ever be. But, just like the acorn, we hold within us the potential for growth, for transformation, for a life that transcends the limitations of our current identity. Our ego, that voice in our head that constantly chatters about who we are, what we want, and how we should be perceived, is a master storyteller. It weaves a narrative of our lives, shaping our beliefs, values, and desires. This narrative, while often helpful in navigating the world, can also become a prison, trapping us in a limited view of ourselves and our potential. The ego thrives on control, seeking to maintain a sense of order and predictability in a world that is inherently chaotic and unpredictable. It resists change, fearing that any deviation from the familiar will threaten its sense of self. It clings to its beliefs, even when they no longer serve us, because they provide a sense of security and familiarity. This resistance to change, this clinging to the known, is often fueled by our attachment to our identity. We define ourselves by our roles, parent, employee, artist, athlete, by our accomplishments, our possessions, our relationships. These external markers become intertwined with our sense of self, creating a fragile ego that is easily threatened by any perceived loss or failure. The ego's grip can manifest in countless ways. We may resist new experiences, fearing they will challenge our self-imposed self-imposement. We may avoid vulnerability, fearing it will expose our weaknesses. We may cling to relationships that no longer serve us, fearing that being alone will diminish our sense of worth. This attachment to our ego can create a deep sense of separation, a belief that we are fundamentally different from others. that our needs and desires are more important than theirs. This can lead to conflict, competition, and a constant striving for validation and approval. But the truth is, our ego is not our true self. It is a construct, a collection of thoughts, beliefs, and experiences that we have accumulated over time. It is a mask we wear, a persona we present to the world. Beneath this mask lies our true essence, our authentic self, a boundless source of wisdom, compassion, and creativity. To truly surrender, we must loosen the ego's grip, allowing ourselves to be transformed by life's experiences. This requires a willingness to question our beliefs, to challenge our assumptions, to let go of the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of. We are useful. It's about recognizing that our identity is not fixed, but fluid, constantly evolving and expanding. It's about embracing change, welcoming the unknown, and trusting that life is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't look the way we expected. Surrendering the ego is not about self-annihilation, but about self-discovery. It's about shedding the layers of conditioning and societal expectations that have obscured our true nature. It's about reclaiming our authentic selves, the selves we were born to be. This process of ego surrender can be challenging, even painful at times. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to face our deepest fears. But the rewards are immeasurable. When we release the ego's grip, we open ourselves to a life of greater freedom, joy, and fulfillment. In the next chapter, we'll explore another major obstacle to surrender: fear. We'll examine the different types of fear that hold us back and discover how to move through them with courage and grace. Lesson 6. Fear, the underlying driver of resistance. Imagine a tightrope walker poised high above a bustling city square, the wind whipping at their clothes, the crowd a distant murmur below. Every muscle is taut, every sense alert, as they carefully place one foot in front of the other. But what is it that keeps them balanced, keeps them moving forward? Is it solely skill and training, or is there something deeper at play? A force that both propels and hinders their every step. That force, my friend, is fear. Fear, that primal emotion that courses through our veins like a jolt of electricity, is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a vital survival mechanism, a warning system that alerts us to potential danger and keeps us safe from harm. It's the reason we instinctively pull our hand back from a hot stove, slam on the brakes to avoid a collision, or seek shelter during a storm. But fear, when left unchecked, can also become a formidable adversary, a shadowy figure that whispers doubts, amplifies anxieties, and casts a long shadow over our lives. It can morph into an invisible cage, confining us to our comfort zones, preventing us from taking risks, pursuing our dreams, and living a life of true authenticity and purpose. One of the most pervasive and insidious forms of fear is the fear of the unknown. Our brains, with their innate desire for certainty and predictability, crave a sense of order in a world that is inherently chaotic and unpredictable. When we venture beyond the familiar, when we step outside our comfort zones, fear emerges from the shadows, painting vivid pictures of potential dangers and urging us to retreat to the safety of the known. This fear of the unknown can manifest in countless ways, subtly shaping our choices and limiting our potential. We may hesitate to pursue a new career path, haunted by the fear of failure or rejection. We may avoid social gatherings, crippled by the fear of judgment or awkwardness. We may cling to outdated beliefs and habits, even when they no longer serve us, because the familiar, however flawed, feels safer than venturing into the uncharted territory of the unknown. Another formidable foe on the battlefield of our minds is the fear of failure. We live in a society that often equates success with worthiness, where our achievements are seen as a direct reflection of our value as individuals. This can create a deep-seated fear of not measuring up, of falling short of expectations, of being labeled a failure. This fear of failure can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking risks, pursuing our passions, and stepping outside our comfort zones. We may procrastinate, self-sabotage, or avoid challenges altogether, convinced that it's better to play it safe than to risk the sting of failure. But the truth is, failure is an inevitable part of life, an essential stepping stone on the path to growth and learning. Every misstep, every setback, every stumble provides an invaluable opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to emerge stronger and wiser. Embracing failure rather than fearing it is crucial for living a life of courage, resilience, and authenticity. And then there's the fear of vulnerability, a fear that often lurks beneath the surface, quietly undermining our ability to connect deeply with others. We live in a culture that often equates vulnerability with weakness, where showing our true selves, with all our imperfections and insecurities, is seen as a liability, a chink in our armor. We build walls around our hearts, fearing that if we let others see our true selves, we will be judged, rejected, or abandoned. This fear of vulnerability can be a formidable barrier to intimacy, preventing us from forming deep, meaningful connections with others. We may hold back our emotions, suppress our true feelings, and avoid intimacy, convinced that it's safer to keep our guard up than to risk the potential pain of rejection. But the truth is, vulnerability is not weakness, but strength. It takes courage to show up authentically, to let others see our true selves with all our imperfections and vulnerabilities. Vulnerability is the foundation of intimacy, trust, and genuine connection, the key to unlocking the profound joy of human relationships. Fear, while a natural and often necessary human emotion, does not have to dictate our lives. We can learn to recognize our fears, to understand their origins, and to move through them with courage and grace. This requires a willingness to step outside our comfort zones, to challenge our limiting beliefs, and to embrace the uncertainty of life. Surrendering to our fears does not mean ignoring them or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging their presence, honoring their message, and choosing to move forward despite them. It's about recognizing that fear is often an illusion, a projection of our own insecurities and limiting beliefs. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to unravel our resistance, to identify the specific fears and limiting beliefs that are holding us back from living a life of surrender and fulfillment. We'll also begin to discover practical tools and techniques for cultivating courage, resilience, and self-compassion, empowering us to face our fears and step into the fullness of our being. Lesson 7. Unraveling Your Resistance, a Journey of Self-Discovery. Imagine a master sculptor meticulously chipping away at a block of marble, revealing the graceful form of a hidden figure within. Each strike of the chisel, each removal of excess stone, brings the masterpiece closer to its full expression. This process of refinement, of uncovering what lies beneath the surface, mirrors the journey of self-reflection, a journey that leads us to the heart of our resistance. Resistance, that tenacious force that holds us back from embracing surrender, is not a simple obstacle. It's a multifaceted tapestry, woven from intricate threads of fear, limiting beliefs, past experiences, and deeply ingrained patterns of thinking and behaving. To truly understand our resistance, we must embark on an inner excavation, carefully peeling back the layers of our psyche to uncover the hidden sources of our struggles. This journey of self-discovery begins with cultivating an intimate awareness of ourselves, a mindful attention to the subtle nuances of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It's about tuning in to the whispers of our bodies, the tension in our shoulders, the knot in our stomach, the racing thoughts that betray the presence of resistance. It's about recognizing the recurring patterns that play out in our lives, the situations that trigger our defenses, the relationships that push our buttons, the thoughts that keep us circling in a vortex of negativity and self-doubt. It's about engaging in an honest dialogue with ourselves, asking profound questions. What am I truly afraid of? What beliefs are shackling my spirit? What past experiences are casting long shadows on my present? Think of your mind as a vast, unexplored landscape, filled with hidden valleys, towering mountains, and winding rivers. Self-reflection is the map that guides you through this terrain, helping you navigate the intricate pathways of your inner world. It's about shining a light into the dark corners of your psyche, illuminating the hidden beliefs and patterns that shape your perceptions and influence your choices. On this path of self-discovery, journaling can be a reliable companion and a strong compass. We can externalize the whirling thoughts and feelings inside of us by simply putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. This can provide perspective and clarity to the frequently disorganized terrain of our brains. It enables us to remove ourselves from the chaos and view our inner selves with fresh objectivity. Here are some journaling prompts to illuminate your path. Identify your triggers. What situations, people, or events tend to activate your resistance? Describe these triggers in vivid detail, capturing your physical sensations, emotional responses, and mental chatter. Unmask your fears. What are the deepest fears that lurk beneath the surface? Explore the specific fears that fuel your resistance, whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, the fear of vulnerability, or the fear of rejection. Challenge your limiting beliefs. What beliefs about yourself, others, or the world are holding you captive? Trace these beliefs back to their origins. Are they based on truth or on outdated narratives that no longer serve you? Revisit your past experiences. How have past experiences, both positive and negative, shaped your current patterns of resistance? Are you carrying any unresolved emotions or unhealed wounds that are influencing your present reactions? Listen to your body's wisdom. How does your body feel when resistance takes hold? What physical sensations arise? Where do you feel tension, tightness, or discomfort? Your body is a wise teacher, offering valuable insights into your inner state. As you embark on this profound process of self-reflection, remember to approach yourself with kindness and compassion. This is not about self-criticism or judgment, but about cultivating a deep understanding and acceptance of your inner world. Acknowledge your struggles, honor your emotions, and recognize that resistance is a natural part of the human experience. Unraveling your resistance is not a destination, but an ongoing journey, a lifelong exploration of the ever-evolving landscape of your being. It's a process of continuous self-discovery, of peeling back the layers of your psyche to reveal the hidden gems within. It's about cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness, of understanding the roots of your resistance, and of developing the tools and techniques to move through it with grace, resilience, and self-compassion. This journey may not always be easy. It may require you to confront uncomfortable truths, challenge long-held beliefs, and face your deepest fears. But the rewards are immeasurable. By understanding your resistance, you gain the power to transform it, to break free from its grip, and to embrace a life of greater freedom, authenticity, and fulfillment. In the next chapter, we'll delve into the fascinating world of neuroscience, exploring how surrender impacts our brains and bodies. We'll discover how letting go can literally rewire our neural pathways, creating a more peaceful, resilient, and joyful state of being. Lesson 8. The Neuroscience of Letting Go. How Surrender Rewires Your Brain. Imagine your brain as a vast, intricate garden, with billions of neural pathways intertwining like roots, branches, and vines, forming a living network that shapes your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When you're gripped by stress, anxiety, or the relentless pursuit of control, It's as if this garden is overgrown with weeds, choking the life out of the delicate blossoms of peace and well-being. But when you surrender, when you release the tight grip of control and embrace the present moment, it's like a gentle rain washes over the garden, nourishing the soil and allowing the flowers of your mind to bloom in their full splendor. Surrender, that act of letting go, of relinquishing the need to control and allowing life to unfold, is not just a philosophical concept or a spiritual aspiration. It's a profound neurological shift, a rewiring of your brain that unlocks a cascade of benefits for your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Let's journey into the fascinating world of neuroscience to explore how surrender transforms your brain from the inside out. One of the key players in this transformation is the amygdala, that almond-shaped structure nestled deep within your brain that acts as your emotional watchdog, particularly when it comes to fear and anxiety. When you perceive a threat, whether it's a looming deadline, a critical comment, or a perceived social slight, the amygdala sounds the alarm, triggering the fight-or-flight response, flooding your body with stress hormones and preparing you for action. But when you surrender, when you release the grip of fear and embrace the present moment, the amygdala calms down, like a wild horse finding its peaceful pasture. This, in turn, reduces the torrent of stress hormones coursing through your body, allowing your nervous system to relax, recharge, and restore its natural equilibrium. Another key player in this symphony of surrender is the prefrontal cortex, the executive control center of your brain, responsible for higher-level thinking, decision-making, and emotional regulation. When you're caught in the clutches of stress or anxiety, the prefrontal cortex can become overwhelmed, like a conductor struggling to lead an orchestra in a chaotic symphony. But when you surrender, the prefrontal cortex regains control, like a master gardener tending to a flourishing garden. This enhances your ability to think clearly, make wise decisions, and regulate your emotions, creating a sense of calm and clarity amidst the inevitable storms of life. Surrender also has a profound impact on the hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure vital for learning and memory. Chronic stress can damage the hippocampus, impairing your ability to form new memories and recall old ones, like a withering vine losing its grip on the trellis of your mind. But surrender, by reducing the flood of stress hormones, protects the hippocampus and promoting mental sharpness. The benefits of surrender extend beyond the confines of the brain, influencing your entire nervous system. When you're chronically stressed, your sympathetic nervous system, responsible for the fight-or-flight response, is in overdrive, like a constantly revving engine on the verge of burnout. This can lead to a host of physical symptoms, from increased heart rate and blood pressure to digestive issues and weakened immunity. But when you surrender, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, that promotes relaxation, healing, and restoration. This slows your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, improves your digestion, and enhances your immune function, creating a state of physiological balance and well-being, like a gentle breeze restoring harmony to a windswept landscape. The beauty of surrender is that it's not just a temporary fix, but a long-term solution. Neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself, allows you to create lasting changes in your neural pathways through repeated practice. The more you surrender, the more you strengthen the neural connections associated with peace, resilience, and emotional well-being, like a gardener cultivating a thriving ecosystem within the garden of your mind. This means that surrender is not just a reaction to stress, but a proactive practice that can transform your brain and body from the inside out. It's like tending to a garden. The more you nurture it, the more it flourishes. The science is clear. Surrender is not just a feel-good concept, but a powerful tool for optimizing your neurological and physiological functioning. It's a key to unlocking a life of greater peace, resilience, and joy. Lesson 9. Mindfulness, the gateway to surrender. Imagine a majestic eagle soaring effortlessly through the vast expanse of the sky, its keen eyes focused on the present moment, its wings adjusting seamlessly to the currents of the wind. This is the essence of mindfulness, a state of being fully present, fully aware of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment or resistance. In our modern world, with its relentless demands and constant distractions, our minds often resemble a restless monkey, swinging from one thought to the next, dwelling on the past, worrying about the future, rarely pausing to appreciate the richness of the present moment. We become so entangled in the drama of our thoughts and emotions that we lose touch with the beauty and serenity of the here and now. Mindfulness is the practice of gently guiding that restless monkey back to its perch, of bringing your attention back to the present moment, to the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations that surround you. It's about observing your thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them, like watching leaves float down a stream without grasping at any particular one. This practice of present moment awareness is a powerful gateway to surrender. When you cultivate mindfulness, you create space between yourself and your thoughts, allowing you to observe them without judgment or reactivity. You recognize that your thoughts are not facts, but simply mental events, fleeting wisps of energy that arise and pass away like clouds drifting across the sky. This detachment from your thoughts allows you to loosen the grip of fear, worry, and anxiety. You no longer feel compelled to react to every thought or emotion that arises. Instead, you can observe them with curiosity and compassion, allowing them to pass through you without dictating your actions or shaping your reality. Mindfulness also cultivates a deep sense of connection to the present moment, to the richness and beauty of the here and now. You begin to appreciate the subtle nuances of your experience, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the gentle breeze caressing your face, the taste of a ripe piece of fruit, the sound of laughter echoing in the distance. This appreciation for the present moment fosters a sense of gratitude, a recognition of the abundance and beauty that surrounds you. You begin to see the world with fresh eyes, noticing the miracles that unfold in every moment, from the intricate dance of a hummingbird to the vastness of the starry night sky. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind or achieving a state of blissful nothingness. It's about embracing the fullness of your experience, the pleasant and the unpleasant, the joyful and the sorrowful, with open-hearted acceptance. It's about recognizing that every moment, no matter how challenging, holds within it the potential for growth, learning, and transformation. So, how do you cultivate this practice of mindfulness? It starts with setting aside dedicated time each day, even just a few minutes, to simply be present. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably, close your eyes, and turn your attention to your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the gentle flow of air in and out of your nostrils. As you focus on your breath, thoughts will inevitably arise. Don't judge them or try to push them away. Simply acknowledge their presence, like noticing a bird flying overhead, and gently redirect your attention back to your breath. You can also practice mindfulness throughout your day, bringing your attention to the present moment in whatever you're doing. When you're eating, savor the flavors and textures of your food. When you're walking, feel the ground beneath your feet and the movement of your body. When you're interacting with others, truly listen to their words and observe their expressions. Mindfulness is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. With consistent practice, you can develop a greater capacity for present moment awareness, for observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, and for embracing the fullness of your experience with open-hearted acceptance. This cultivation of mindfulness is a profound gift you give yourself, a gateway to greater peace, resilience, and joy. It's a key to unlocking the transformative power of surrender, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and an unwavering connection to the present moment. Lesson 10. Acceptance, the heart of surrender. Imagine a mighty oak tree standing tall amidst a furious winter storm. Its branches, once laden with leaves, are now bare and exposed to the biting wind. Snow piles high on its limbs, threatening to break them under its weight. Yet the oak stands firm, its roots anchored deep within the earth, accepting the full force of the storm without resistance. This, my friend, is the essence of acceptance, the very heart of surrender. In the tapestry of life, we are all bound to encounter storms, challenges, setbacks, and unexpected twists of fate that threaten to uproot us. We may face disappointments in our careers, experience heartbreak in our relationships, or confront health issues that test our limits. Our instinctive reaction is often to resist these difficulties, to push back against them, to try to force them to conform to our desires and expectations. But resistance, like trying to stop the wind with our bare hands, is a futile endeavor. It's like clenching your fist around water. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. Resistance creates tension, struggle, and ultimately more suffering. Acceptance, on the other hand, is like opening your hand and allowing the water to flow freely through your fingers. It's about acknowledging the reality of the present moment without judgment or resistance. It's about recognizing that life, like the weather, is constantly changing, and that our true power lies not in fighting against these changes, but in adapting to them, flowing with them, and finding peace within the storm. Acceptance is not about passively resigning yourself to unpleasant circumstances or giving up on your dreams and aspirations. It's about acknowledging the reality of your situation without judgment or resistance so that you can make conscious choices about how to move forward. It's about recognizing that you cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This doesn't mean that acceptance is easy. It can be incredibly challenging to embrace difficult emotions like sadness, anger, or fear, to acknowledge painful experiences, or to accept situations that feel unfair or unjust. But true acceptance is not about condoning or minimizing these experiences. It's about acknowledging their presence, honoring their message, and allowing them to be without getting swept away by them. Think of acceptance as a warm embrace of your whole self, of all your experiences, both the light and the shadow. It's about recognizing that every emotion, every experience, every challenge has a place in the grand tapestry of your life. It's about embracing the fullness of your human experience, with all its complexities and contradictions. When you cultivate acceptance, you create space for healing and transformation. You release the energy that was previously consumed by resistance, freeing yourself to focus on what truly matters. You open yourself to new possibilities, new perspectives, and new ways of being. Like the oak tree bending with the wind, you become more resilient, more adaptable, more capable of weathering life's storms. Acceptance is not a passive act, but a powerful choice. It's a choice to embrace the present moment, with all its joys and sorrows, its triumphs and setbacks. It's a choice to let go of the need to control, to surrender to the flow of life, and to trust that even in the midst of challenges, there is a deeper wisdom unfolding. So, how do you cultivate this radical acceptance? It starts with mindfulness, with bringing your awareness to the present moment, to your thoughts, emotions, and sensations. Notice when resistance arises, when you feel the urge to push back against what is. Instead of fighting against these feelings, acknowledge their presence with kindness and compassion. Observe them without judgment, like watching clouds drift across the sky. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel what you're feeling, that your emotions are valid, even the unpleasant ones. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a dear friend. Recognize that you are human, that you will inevitably make mistakes, face challenges, and experience setbacks. Forgive yourself for your imperfections and embrace your humanness. Acceptance is not a destination, but a journey, a lifelong practice of embracing the fullness of your experience. It's a key to unlocking the transformative power of surrender, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace, resilience, and an open heart. Like the oak tree weathering the storm, you can find strength and serenity in the midst of life's inevitable challenges. Lesson 11. Cultivating trust. Surrender as an act of faith. Imagine a tiny seed buried deep within the earth, surrounded by darkness and uncertainty. Yet, it holds within it an unwavering faith in its own potential, a trust in the unseen forces of nature that will nourish it, guide it, and help it blossom into a magnificent flower. This is the essence of trust, the fertile ground from which surrender grows. Surrender in its purest form is an act of faith. It's a willingness to release the illusion of control, to step into the unknown with an open heart, trusting that life will catch you, guide you, and support you on your journey. It's about having faith in a power greater than yourself, whether you call it the universe, God, your higher self, or simply the innate wisdom of life itself. Trust is not blind faith or naive optimism. It's a deep-rooted knowing, an inner conviction that you are not alone, that you are supported, that you are loved unconditionally. It's a belief that even in the midst of uncertainty and challenges, there is a benevolent force guiding you towards your highest good, like an invisible hand gently steering you toward your destiny. Cultivating trust is essential for embracing surrender. When you trust, you release the fear that often accompanies letting go. You no longer feel the need to control every outcome, to micromanage every detail, to anticipate every potential pitfall. You can relax into the flow of life, knowing that you are held, guided, and supported, like a leaf gently carried by the current of a river. Trust is like a bridge that connects you to your inner wisdom, to your intuition, to that quiet voice within that knows the way. When you trust, you become more attuned to this inner guidance, more receptive to the whispers of your soul. You learn to discern the difference between fear-based thoughts and intuitive nudges, allowing your inner compass to guide your decisions and actions. Trust also deepens your connection to the world around you. You begin to see the interconnectedness of all things, the intricate web of relationships that supports and sustains you. You recognize that you are part of something larger than yourself, a vast and intricate tapestry of life, woven together by invisible threads of love and connection. This sense of interconnectedness fosters a sense of belonging, a feeling that you are not alone in this journey. You realize that you are surrounded by a community of support, both seen and unseen, that is always there to guide and uplift you, like a chorus of angels whispering encouragement and love. Cultivating trust is not always easy. We may have experienced betrayals, disappointments, or losses that have shaken our faith in ourselves, in others, or in the universe. We may have developed patterns of self-doubt, fear, or cynicism that make it difficult to trust, like weeds choking the delicate blossoms of faith in our hearts. But trust, like any muscle, can be strengthened with practice. It starts with small acts of faith, with taking tiny leaps into the unknown, with trusting your intuition, with believing in your own inner strength, like a tiny seed pushing through the darkness, trusting in its innate ability to grow. Here are some practices that can help you cultivate trust. Connect with your intuition. Spend time in quiet reflection, listening to the whispers of your soul. Pay attention to your gut feelings, your hunches, your inner knowing, like tuning into a radio station broadcasting the wisdom of your heart. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you make mistakes or face setbacks. Recognize that you are human, and that imperfections are part of the journey, like a gardener tending to a delicate flower with love and care. Nurture your relationships. Cultivate relationships with people who support you, uplift you, and inspire you. Surround yourself with positive influences that strengthen your faith in humanity, like surrounding yourself with a garden of vibrant and supportive souls. Spend time in nature. Immerse yourself in the natural world, observing the cycles of life and death, the interconnectedness of all things. Nature can be a powerful teacher, reminding you of the wisdom and beauty that surrounds you, like a wise elder sharing ancient secrets of the earth. Engage in spiritual practices. Explore practices that resonate with you, such as meditation, prayer, or yoga. These practices can help you connect with a deeper sense of meaning and purpose, strengthening your faith in a power greater than yourself, like tapping into a universal source of love and guidance. Cultivating trust is a profound act of self-love, a recognition of your own worthiness and your inherent connection to the universe. It's a key to unlocking the transformative power of surrender, allowing you to navigate life's journey with courage, grace, and an unwavering belief in the benevolent unfolding of your path. Lesson 12. Surrender in relationships, creating deeper connections. Imagine two majestic trees standing side by side, their branches intertwining, their roots interwoven, creating a shared space of shelter and support. This is a glimpse into the transformative power of surrender in relationships, a dance of letting go, of opening your heart, and of allowing love to flow freely between you. In the intricate dance of human connection, our initial instinct is often to protect ourselves, to build walls around our hearts, to guard against the potential sting of vulnerability and rejection. We may cling to control, attempting to shape our partners to fit our expectations, to mold them into the perfect companions we envision in our dreams. But this clinging to control, this resistance to vulnerability, can create distance and disharmony in our relationships. It's like trying to force two rivers to merge against their natural currents, creating turbulence and conflict instead of a harmonious flow. Surrender in relationships is about releasing this grip of control, about allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to open your heart fully, and to trust in the power of love to guide you. It's about letting go of expectations, of the need to be right, of the desire to change your partner. When you surrender in relationships, you create space for authentic connection, for deep intimacy, for a love that transcends the limitations of ego and control. You allow your partner to be fully themselves, with all their quirks and imperfections, and you embrace them unconditionally, like the sun embracing the earth with its warmth. This doesn't mean that surrender is about becoming a doormat or tolerating unhealthy behavior. It's about recognizing that your partner is a separate individual, with their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences, a unique universe unto themselves. It's about respecting their boundaries, honoring their needs, and communicating openly and honestly, like two explorers charting a new territory together. Surrender in relationships is about letting go of the need to be right, to win every argument, to have the last word. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to step back, to listen deeply, and to acknowledge your partner's perspective, even if you don't agree with it. Like two dancers gracefully moving together in a harmonious rhythm. This willingness to let go of your ego, to release the need to control, can be incredibly liberating. It frees you from the burden of constantly trying to change your partner, allowing you to appreciate them for who they truly are, like a gardener appreciating the unique beauty of each flower in their garden. It opens the door to deeper intimacy, to a love that is based on acceptance, respect, and genuine connection. Surrender in relationships is also about embracing vulnerability. It's about allowing yourself to be seen, truly seen by your partner, with all your imperfections and insecurities, like a night sky revealing its stars. It's about sharing your deepest fears, your hopes, your dreams, and trusting that your partner will hold them with care, like precious jewels. This vulnerability can be scary, especially if you've been hurt in the past, but it's also the key to unlocking true intimacy. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite your partner to do the same, creating a safe space for authentic connection and deep emotional sharing, like two souls merging in a sacred dance. Surrender in relationships is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It's about showing up every day with an open heart, a willingness to let go, and a commitment to growth and evolution. It's about navigating the inevitable challenges of relationships with grace, compassion, and a deep trust in the power of love to heal and transform. Like two trees weathering the storms together, their roots intertwined, their branches reaching for the sky. Here are some practices that can help you cultivate surrender in your relationships. Practice active listening. When your partner is speaking, truly listen to their words, without interrupting or formulating your response. Seek to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree with it, like a traveler immersing themselves in a new culture. Express gratitude. Take time to appreciate your partner, to acknowledge their strengths, and to express your gratitude for their presence in your life, like a poet expressing their love in a heartfelt sonnet. Forgive freely. Let go of grudges and resentments. Forgiveness is not about condoning hurtful behavior, but about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment, like releasing a bird from its cage. Embrace vulnerability. Share your feelings, fears, and dreams with your partner. Create a safe space for authentic connection and emotional intimacy, like a sanctuary where your souls can meet and dance. Nourishing friendships and community are needed daily. Practice compromise. Recognize that relationships require compromise. Be willing to meet your partner halfway, to find solutions that honor both of your needs, like two skilled weavers creating a tapestry of shared dreams. Surrender in relationships is a profound act of love, a willingness to let go of your ego and embrace the beauty of true connection. It's a path to creating relationships that are fulfilling, supportive, and deeply enriching. Like two trees standing tall together, you can create a shared space of love, trust, and mutual growth. Lesson 13. Surrender at work. Finding flow and fulfillment in your career. Imagine a skilled sailor navigating a vast ocean, their sails billowing in the wind, their vessel responding gracefully to the rhythm of the waves. They don't fight the ocean. They don't try to control its every current. They simply surrender to its power, finding flow and exhilaration in the dance. This, my friend, is a glimpse into the transformative power of surrender at work, a way of navigating the challenges and opportunities of your career with grace, resilience, and a sense of deep fulfillment. In today's hyper-competitive, achievement-oriented work culture, it's easy to get swept away in a relentless current of striving, pushing, and forcing. We may cling to the illusion of control, micromanaging every detail, obsessing over deadlines, and sacrificing our well-being in the pursuit of success. But this constant struggle for control can lead to burnout, stress, and a sense of disconnection from the true purpose and joy of our work. Surrender at work is not about giving up or becoming passive. It's about releasing the need to control every outcome, to micromanage every detail, to prove your worth through constant striving. It's about trusting in your abilities, in the support of your colleagues, and in the unfolding of your career path, like a sailor trusting the wind and the stars to guide their journey. When you surrender at work, you create space for flow, that state of effortless creativity and productivity where you lose yourself in the task at hand, like a painter lost in the strokes of their brush. You become fully immersed in your work, your mind and body working in perfect harmony, like a well-rehearsed orchestra playing a beautiful symphony. This state of flow is not only deeply satisfying, but it's also incredibly productive. When you're in flow, you tap into your innate creativity, your problem-solving abilities, and your intuition. You become more efficient, more effective, and more fulfilled in your work, like a river flowing effortlessly towards the sea. Surrender at work is also about recognizing your limitations. You are not a superhero, and you cannot do everything yourself. It's about learning to delegate, to trust your colleagues, and to ask for help when you need it, like a conductor relying on the individual talents of each musician in the orchestra. This willingness to let go of control, to trust in the support of others, can be incredibly liberating. It frees you from the burden of carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, allowing you to focus on your strengths and contribute your unique talents to the team, like a single instrument adding its unique voice to the symphony. Surrender at work is also about embracing challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, view them as opportunities for growth and learning, like a climber scaling a mountain, each step bringing them closer to the summit. When you encounter a setback, don't give up or get discouraged. Instead, take a deep breath, tap into your ability to find creative solutions, like a ship navigating through a storm. This willingness to embrace challenges, to learn from your mistakes and to keep moving forward is essential for career fulfillment. It allows you to develop your skills, expand your knowledge, and grow into your full potential, like a seed blossoming into a magnificent tree. Surrender at work is not about abandoning your ambition or settling for mediocrity. It's about finding a sustainable path to success, a path that honors your well-being, your values, and your authentic self. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in the process, not just the outcome. Like a dancer finding joy in the movement, not just the applause. Here are some practices that can help you cultivate surrender at work. Set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to requests that drain your energy or compromise your well-being. Prioritize your tasks and focus on what truly matters, like a gardener tending to the most precious plants in their garden. Connect with your purpose. Reflect on the deeper meaning and purpose of your work. How does your work contribute to the greater good? How does it align with your values and passions? Like a compass guiding you towards your true north. Celebrate your successes. Take time to acknowledge your accomplishments, both big and small. Celebrate your wins and appreciate the journey, like a traveler savoring the beauty of the landscape along the way. Surrender at work is a powerful practice that can transform your career from a source of stress and struggle to a source of flow, fulfillment, and deep satisfaction. Like a sailor navigating the vast ocean, you can find joy and exhilaration in the dance of your work, trusting in your abilities, embracing challenges, and surrendering to the unfolding of your career path. Lesson 14. Surrender to your purpose, aligning with your authentic self. Imagine a river flowing freely down a mountainside, carving its own path through the landscape, its waters glistening in the sunlight as it journeys towards the vast ocean. This is a glimpse into the power of surrendering to your purpose, of aligning with your authentic self, of allowing your inner current to guide you toward your destiny. In the tapestry of life, we are often woven with threads of external expectations, societal pressures, and limiting beliefs that can obscure our true path, like a dense fog obscuring a breathtaking vista. We may chase after goals that are not truly our own, pursue careers that leave our souls feeling empty, or try to squeeze ourselves into molds that stifle our unique expression, like a wildflower forced to grow in a concrete jungle. But deep within each of us lies a wellspring of wisdom, a unique purpose, a calling that beckons us to live a life of meaning and fulfillment. This inner compass, this authentic self, knows the way, but its whispers can be drowned out by the cacophony of the world, by the doubts and fears that clamor for our attention. Surrendering to your purpose is about quieting that cacophony, about tuning in to the whispers of your soul, about aligning with the truth of who you are. It's about letting go of the expectations of others, of the need to please, of the fear of judgment, like a bird taking flight and soaring above the limitations of the earth. When you surrender to your purpose, you unleash a powerful force within you, a creative energy that propels you forward on your path, like a river gaining momentum as it flows towards the sea. You become a beacon of light, radiating your unique gifts and talents into the world, illuminating the path for others to follow. This alignment with your authentic self brings a sense of deep peace and fulfillment. You no longer feel the need to strive for external validation, to prove your worth, or to fit into someone else's mold. You are free to be yourself, to express your unique gifts, to live a life that is true to your soul, like a tree reaching for the sky, its branches dancing in the wind. Surrendering to your purpose is not about abandoning your responsibilities or neglecting your commitments. It's about finding a way to integrate your passions, your values, and your unique talents into every aspect of your life, like weaving a beautiful tapestry with threads of gold. It's about creating a life that is not just successful, but also meaningful, fulfilling, and deeply aligned with your soul's journey. This journey of self-discovery and alignment can be a winding path, full of twists and turns, moments of doubt and unexpected detours, like a river navigating through a diverse landscape. But the more you trust in your inner compass, the more you listen to the whispers of your heart, the clearer your path will become, like a lighthouse guiding you through the darkness. Here are some practices that can help you surrender to your purpose. Connect with your inner voice. Spend time in quiet reflection, journaling, meditating, or simply being in nature, allowing the whispers of your soul to emerge from the stillness, like stars appearing in the night sky. Identify your values. What is truly important to you? What principles guide your decisions and actions? Clarifying your values can help you make choices that are aligned with your authentic self, like a compass pointing you toward your true north. Explore your passions. What activities bring you joy? What makes your heart sing? Your passions are clues to your purpose, guiding you towards activities that ignite your soul, like sparks igniting a fire. Embrace your strengths. What are you naturally good at? What talents and skills do you possess? Recognizing your strengths can help you find ways to contribute your unique gifts to the world, like a painter sharing their art with the world. Set intentions. What do you want to create in your life? What impact do you want to make? Setting clear intentions can help you focus your energy and align your actions with your purpose, like a gardener planting seeds with the intention of creating a beautiful garden. Take inspired action. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Take small steps each day toward your goals, trusting that the universe will support you on your journey. Like a river flowing towards the ocean, one drop at a time. Surrendering to your purpose is not a passive act, but a courageous choice. It's a choice to trust in your inner wisdom, to embrace your unique gifts, and to live a life that is true to your soul. It's a choice to shine your light brightly, to share your gifts with the world, and to make a positive impact on those around you, like a star illuminating the night sky. Like the river flowing freely towards the ocean, you can surrender to the current of your life, trusting that it will carry you towards your destiny. Embrace your purpose, align with your authentic self, and allow your unique gifts to blossom into their full potential. Lesson 15. Embracing the unknown. Surrender as a path to freedom. Imagine a bird perched on the edge of a cliff, ready to take flight. It doesn't know exactly where it will land, what winds it will encounter, or what sights it will behold. Yet, it spreads its wings and leaps into the vast unknown, trusting in its ability to navigate the journey. This, my friend, is a glimpse into the liberating power of embracing the unknown, of surrendering to the unpredictable currents of life, and finding freedom in the adventure. We humans often cling to the familiar, to the illusion of certainty and control. We crave predictability, seeking to map out our lives, to avoid surprises, to stay within the safe confines of our comfort zones. But life, like the wind, is inherently unpredictable, a constant dance of change and transformation. The unknown can feel daunting, even terrifying. It's a vast ocean of possibilities, filled with both promise and peril. Our minds, wired for survival, may conjure up worst-case scenarios, whispering anxieties and urging us to retreat to the safety of the known. Exercises such schemes have long been used to hide trouble. But the unknown is also where the magic happens. It's the fertile ground for growth, for discovery, for the unfolding of our greatest potential. It's where we encounter new perspectives, challenge our limiting beliefs, and expand our horizons. Embracing the unknown is not about reckless abandon or blind faith. It's about cultivating a spirit of curiosity, a willingness to step outside our comfort zones, and a trust in our ability to navigate the challenges that may arise. It's about recognizing that uncertainty is an inherent part of life, and that our true strength lies in our ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. When we surrender to the unknown, we release the grip of fear and open ourselves to a world of possibilities. We become more resilient, more adaptable, more capable of navigating the inevitable twists and turns of life. Like a ship adjusting its sails to the changing winds, we learn to flow with the currents, trusting that we will reach our destination, even if the journey unfolds differently than we planned. Bill Burr's embracing the unknown is also about cultivating a spirit of adventure, a willingness to explore new territories, to try new things, to step outside the confines of our comfort zones. It's about saying yes to opportunities that excite us, even if they scare us a little. It's about allowing ourselves to be surprised, to be challenged, to be transformed by the experiences that life throws our way. This willingness to embrace the unknown can lead to incredible discoveries, both within ourselves and in the world around us. We may uncover hidden talents, discover new passions, or forge unexpected connections that enrich our lives in profound ways. Embracing the unknown is not about denying our fears, but about acknowledging them and moving forward anyway. It's about recognizing that fear is often an illusion, a projection of our own limiting beliefs and past experiences. When we face our fears, when we step into the unknown, despite our anxieties, we discover a wellspring of courage and resilience within us. We learn that we are stronger than we thought, more capable than we imagined. Challenge your limiting beliefs. What beliefs are holding you back from stepping into the unknown? Are they based on fear or on past experiences that no longer serve you? Lesson 16. Living a life surrendered, a journey of continuous growth. Imagine a seasoned gardener tending to their beloved garden. They nurture the soil, plant the seeds, water the seedlings, and patiently watch them grow. They understand that growth is a gradual process, a continuous unfolding that requires both nurturing and surrender. This is a glimpse into the art of living a life surrendered, a journey of continuous growth, of embracing the ebb and flow of life with grace, resilience, and an open heart. Throughout this book, we've explored the transformative power of surrender, delving into its neurological underpinnings, unraveling the roots of resistance, and discovering practical tools for cultivating this profound practice in our daily lives. Now, as we reach the culmination of our journey, it's time to integrate these lessons, to weave them into the fabric of our being, and to embrace surrender as a lifelong companion. Living a life surrendered is not a destination but an ongoing journey, a continuous dance with the ever-changing rhythms of life. It's about showing up each day with a willingness to let go, to release the grip of control, and to trust in the unfolding of our path. It's about cultivating a mindset of acceptance, of embracing the present moment with all its joys and sorrows, its triumphs and setbacks. It's about recognizing that life is a tapestry woven with threads of both light and shadow, and that true beauty lies in the intricate interplay of both. Living a life surrendered is not about passivity or resignation. It's about actively engaging with life, pursuing your passions, and contributing your unique gifts to the world. But it's also about recognizing that you are not the sole author of your story, that there are forces at play far greater than your individual will. It's about finding a balance between striving and surrendering, between taking action and letting go. It's about learning to dance with life, to flow with its rhythms, to trust in the wisdom of the universe. This trust, this faith in a power greater than yourself, is the bedrock of surrender. It's a deep-rooted knowing that you are not alone, that you are supported, that you are loved unconditionally. It's a belief that even in the midst of uncertainty and challenges, there is a benevolent force guiding you towards your highest good. Living a life surrendered is also about cultivating self-compassion. It's about treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you make mistakes or face setbacks. It's about recognizing that you are human, that imperfections are part of the journey, and that growth often emerges from the cracks in our perfectly crafted plans. It's about embracing your vulnerability, allowing yourself to be seen, truly seen by others, with all your imperfections and insecurities. It's about creating authentic connections, fostering deep intimacy, and sharing your heart with the world. Living a life surrendered is a journey of continuous growth, a constant unfolding of your potential. It's about embracing change, welcoming new experiences, and stepping outside your comfort zone. It's about learning from your mistakes, adapting to new circumstances, and evolving into the best version of yourself. Here are some practices that can support you on this journey. Cultivate a daily practice of mindfulness. Spend time each day connecting with your breath, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, and grounding yourself in the present moment. Nurture your relationships, foster deep and meaningful connections with others, sharing your heart, expressing your gratitude, and offering your support. Quote, embrace your passions. Make time for activities that bring you joy, that ignite your soul, and that allow you to express your creativity. Contribute your gifts to the world. Find ways to share your unique talents and make a positive impact on those around you. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the blessings in your life, both big and small. Trust in the unfolding of your journey. Release the need to control every outcome and have faith that life is guiding you towards your highest good. Exercise align. Living a life surrendered is a profound act of self-love, a recognition of your inherent worthiness and your connection to the divine. It's a journey of liberation, of freedom from the shackles of fear, control, and self-doubt. It's a path to a life of greater peace, joy, fulfillment, and authentic expression. As you embark on this journey, remember that you are not alone. You are surrounded by a community of support, both seen and unseen, that is always there to guide and uplift you. Trust in the wisdom of your heart. Embrace the unknown with courage and surrender to the beautiful unfolding of your life. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have an amazing day. I would be really grateful if you could share and comment. Until we cross paths again.